Life lesson number 3. So you've completed life lesson 1, emptying the trash out, and life lesson 2, pouring the love in. Number 3 is coping mechanisms and habits. If, like me, you have experienced a lot of trauma and abuse, you may not know how to handle all of the pain. You may not know how to deal with the pain or cope with the pain or handle the pain. And as a result, you may have developed some unhealthy habits and coping mechanisms. These coping mechanisms or unhealthy habits could be your way of self-soothing or numbing, or you could be self-medicating. You could be abandoning yourself, avoiding yourself, or hurting yourself, harming yourself. You may be using substances, or it could be an addiction to food, shopping, gambling, corn with a P. We got to speak in code so that videos don't get taken down. There could be an addiction to sex, or you could be putting yourself into dangerous situations because you don't value your life. And all of the things that help you survive are not the things that will help you thrive. And I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. I'm speaking from a place of experience. So I will share with you what I used to turn my life around. Whatever your unhealthy habit is, I want you to start using 3 words: conscious, curiosity, and compassion. Conscious, curiosity, and compassion. Every time you engage in the habit, I want you to be very conscious of it from the beginning to the end. Rather than doing it unconsciously or automatically. For example, I smoked cigarettes for 30 years. So towards the end, I would start being very conscious of the smoking ritual, which just means being very present and thinking about it while you are doing it, paying attention to it while you're doing it, every time. Then be curious. Ask yourself, what is my intention with this act? What is it that I want to feel? Am I feeling it? What is it that I don't want to feel? Is this act, this behavior, this ritual that I'm doing, is it effective or ineffective in me achieving what I want to feel or achieving what I don't want to feel? What is it that I'm looking for in doing this? What do I want? What is the goal? What am I using this to avoid? It is really important that you do not blame, shame, criticize, or judge yourself in this process. Because when we blame, shame, criticize, and judge ourselves while doing an unhealthy habit, it just locks that unhealthy habit in deeper, stronger. Because feeling bad is one of the things that we get from doing the habit. It's not conscious. But when I was smoking, I also got to feel bad about myself. And when I was smoking, I got to blame myself and shame myself and criticize myself and judge myself. Benefits aren't just positive, they can be negative benefits too. It's still a benefit, whether it's positive or negative. So be very curious. Is this habit helping me to feel what it is that I want to feel? What is the unmet need in this moment? So you're being very conscious and you're being curious. Then once you get your answers, the third part is compassion. Have compassion for the part of you, the aspect of you that feels vulnerable or ashamed or lonely or empty or lost, confused, broken, fragile, imperfect, flawed, weak, powerless, fractured, damaged, give that part of you compassion. And you may want to speak to that part of you. No wonder you're doing this, because you feel like you deserve to be punished, or you don't feel good enough, or you're afraid of the memories. Don't judge yourself. Express compassion instead. I'm sorry you experienced that. I'm sorry you feel that. What can we do to make you feel better? How can I help? You may need to have a longer conversation with yourself, with the younger, wounded version of yourself. You may want to ask yourself, when did this issue begin to show itself? When did this habit develop? How old were you? What was happening around you? How did you feel about yourself? How did you feel about life? And truly listen to yourself. Listen to understand. Listen with compassion. Then you're going to start saying, everything I do is an act of self-love. Everything that I do is an act of self-love. So when I was smoking a cigarette, I would make it conscious. I would get curious. I would have compassion. Then I would start saying, this is an act of self-love. And the misalignment is so obvious that I had to stop smoking, because it clearly isn't an act of self-love. And I had to look at all the ways that I was harming myself. Everything that I do is an act of self-love. When you say this every day, you will gently transition and migrate out of unhealthy habits. Remember, the things that help you survive are not the things that will help you thrive.